Hey everybody, it's Marsh Mike here. It's going to be my Gotham Season 2 episode. I think we're on episode 17. This is going to be my episode 17 review. This was a good episode. Last week, my review went up, it was last week. My review for last week, that episode was so boring. I did not like that episode at all. This made up for it. Oh, I love this episode. There was so much going on. You had the Penguin's arc, you had Selena and Bruce's arc, you had Gordon's arc, you had a little bit of Harvey thrown in there, you had the Riddler. It was so amazing and so... it was like another comic book. Like I said 2 weeks ago in my review for the Riddler episode where he frames Jim, I thought that's reading a comic book. Like it felt like I was in a comic book. This one, not as much, but it still feels like kind of like a comic book too. So, it was really interesting to see this episode. So spoiler alert, we're gonna get all into spoilers. Are you guys ready? Let's get started. So this episode starts off, I think it starts off with the montage, or not really a montage, but it starts off with the action scene with Selena and Bruce and that one guy that they stole from. Loved this scene. And I love the fact that when Bruce steals the money, he just like throws it off the roof. And Selena's like, what the hey. And it's really cool to see that he's kind of like mini Batman. Like he truly is. Like in season 1, you could have argued, yeah, there's no way this kid is Batman. That's like way farther off. Right now, he is mini Batman. He's stealing from the rich, stealing the money that they didn't. Because remember, Selena said that guy stole the money too. Before. Like, that guy had the money because he stole it. So, Bruce is kind of stealing from criminals and, like, throwing the money out. Like, he doesn't deserve the money, right? So, he's kind of like Robin Hood more than Batman right now. But, well, actually not really, because he's not really giving the money to the poor. If people saw the money, I guess they'd pick it up. But, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like a little bit of Robin Hood, a little bit of Batman. So, I really like that, and it's just really cool. I love it. It's really cool. And I love the joke where he's like, I saved enough for burgers. Like, that was so hilarious. And, like, David Mazouz, he just delivered that line, like, so funny. Like, it was hilarious. I just love that. And I love Selena and Bruce moments. A lot of people hate the Selena Bruce moments because, Catwoman's not supposed to be Batman until he becomes Batman. Who cares? It's Gotham's adaptation. Like, let them be Gotham. And that's what I love about it. It's because he knows all of these villains beforehand. And because he's known them for a long time. That makes them have more history, right? I mean, it's, like, so cool. If Jerome would have became Joker, that would have been awesome history. Like, I met this maniac when I was a child. Like, that would have been awesome. So I feel like meeting Selena beforehand is just really cool. And having this chemistry between them. Especially him with Selena. Not so much as with him and people like Ivy or, Victor or Ed. Not so much as those villains. But Catwoman is a big part of Batman. So it's like, that's what makes sense. So let's let's go through their story first, then we'll talk about a little bit about more of the main stuff that happens. So let's just talk about them first as we're talking about them now. So Bruce and Selena end up going back to Wayne Manor because of Jim, of course, being shot. They get him to Wayne Manor. Alfred and Bruce get reunited, and then, of course, Alfred's like, hey, Lucius, fixed your dad's computer. Bruce is like, oh my gosh, why didn't you tell me this? And then Alfred picks up this really nice story. Like, he has these really nice lines and about him not being able to involve Selena in this. And so Bruce is like, okay, I got you, and basically dumps Selena. It's like they were never dating. In my mind, they were dating, right? I mean, you never see it. Maybe behind closed doors, they were, dating a little bit. I don't know. It just felt like they're, like I don't know, Cameron Beekendova and David Mazouz, like, I don't know what's about them. They just have so much good chemistry, even if they're not acting with chemistry. It's like they're not trying to be a couple, but that's what Batman and Catwoman is. Like, Batman doesn't try to, and they don't try to be a couple. Sure, Catwoman kind of flirtatiously brings that on, but they don't try to be a couple, right? It just kind of happens. And I feel like they're doing that right now. Like, they're not a couple, but the way that it's written and the way that they're acting, even though they're not purposely acting like they're a couple, it just falls into the lap. It just, like, falls into this kind of dynamic that they are a couple. And I was expecting, I was actually, really thinking Bruce would kiss Selena at that last moment. She'd be like, I'm still your friend / boyfriend-ish thing. I don't know. I expected that to happen before Selena left, because I think Selena won't be with Bruce for a while, and this could be her turn back to the villain side. Penguin's coming back. She could find Penguin after that, now that Bruce and her little thing is over. I don't know, but it seemed like that was going to happen, and I was like, I actually really expected, the heat of the moment, I was like, okay, this is going to happen. Didn't happen, so I was really interested to see that as well. But Bruce is now pursuing, the research and the computer with Alfred, as we saw in the end of the episode, so that's going to be really interesting as well. But here's my complaint. I don't want this to be like a normal thing, like switching back and forth from Selena and the Batcave, like, or the Bat stuff. I don't want him to switch back and forth. It's just kind of like, you know, I don't know, something about it. It's just like you either have to choose one side. And I actually like the direction they were going in. It's like Bruce wanting to learn more about the criminal side. And that was the whole point of the end of that one episode where, you know, the Matches Malone episode where he's like, I need to go learn about the criminal side of Gotham. Yet, that's only been like 2 episodes. So it's kind of like, you really can't do that, and because now you're switching back and forth. Now he's back in comfy Wayne Manor, so we need to kind of pick a side here. But let's move on. We've talked about too much about this. Let's move on to something else. We'll talk about Penguin first, then go on to the main story. I know we're kind of doing it flip-flop, but, you know. So Penguin, this was awesome. I mean, this was like really psychotic. I don't know who decided to write this for this episode, to write the ending to Penguin's stepfamily. Whoever wrote that, diabolical. You are, or whoever this was, if it was a team of people, these people are really, like, in the criminal mind, or in the psychotic mind, because, that ending. So Penguin finds out, they basically turn Penguin into their own slave, which, you know, Sasha, what's the other guy's name? Like, their family, that family, she basically turned, the mom turns Penguin into, the slave of the family, basically. And I really like this. I kind of liked where this was going, because now that they're dead, maybe Penguin can have the house and that becomes his retreat, or his new, like, you know, crime boss hideout. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. But, you know, I really like this, to where they were treating him like a slave, and it snaps him. Like, I predicted that he was going to snap, but I would have never guessed about what he would do to them. Like, that was so crazy. Like, that was still a huge surprise. I knew Penguin was going to be bad. You guys knew he was going to go back to being bad. We didn't know how, though. So I really liked how they incorporated that and just made it so fantastic. So he finds the bottle of poison, poisons the dog. That was kind of weird. I felt kind of sad for that dog. And then, you know, confronts the mom about it. I still can't remember her name, but doesn't matter. She's dead now. But confronts her about it. Feeds her children. What? So she, like, Penguin basically murders these 2 children, cooks them into, like, meat, like, you know, like a roast, and feeds them to their mother. That was creepy. I don't know how that came to be, who wrote that, but props to that. That was psychotic, and it was really crazy. I liked it. I liked how they made it so, you know, devious and so crazy. Like, he snapped. He's really psychotic again. So I really like how they did that. I praise to whoever wrote that. But anyway, it was really nice to see Penguin get back to his groove. So let's talk about Barbra real quick, then we'll head on to the Riddler. So Barbra is out of the asylum. She has been declared sane. I have no idea if this is real or not. Like, is she doing an act? Is she sane? If Lee's gonna be gone for a while, I expect Barbra to be developed a little bit more back to the old, not completely back to old Barbra, but back to, you know, kind of a sane Barbra, because, you know, Jim ends up with Barbra in the comics, and he has Barbra Gordon, the little girl Barbra. So, you know, I don't know how that's going to work exactly. I don't know. They're going to have to find out a way. But I just think that's really interesting to see Barbra being developed at this time while Lee's gone. The one thing, though, again, they're going back and forth. Like, you know, you were with Lee. Now Barbara's going to be developed again. So it's kind of like, I don't know what they're going to do about it, because now he has 2 love interests, but we know he's supposed to end up with Barbra. So where does that leave Lee? And is she going to leave? Like, is Miranda Bachman going to leave the show? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But it was really cool to see Barbra again as well. So let's go on to the Riddler. So Gordon versus Riddler was so awesome. Like, the whole fight that they were doing. He takes this tape, right, from IA, that's what it's called, right? Takes the tape to Nigma to get it cleaned up to find out who the voice is from. Of course, Riddler, being the guy that he is, cannot, you know, stop talking, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, when he reveals to himself to Gordon, I loved that. Like, it was like, you know, and he turned to himself and just whispered, you know, you talk too much. Like, that was amazing, or something, whatever he said. You know, you talk too much, stop talking. That was awesome. I loved it, and, you know, it was really cool. I would have expected a little bit more Riddler-y things, like more riddles, like even more, like 4 or 5 riddles. There was like 2 riddles in the episode, maybe 3. There's 3 riddles, I believe, in this episode. So there's something in there. I loved what they did with him. I think that Corey Michael Smith is the Riddler. Like, he is Riddler. Like, and I hope Gotham goes on so long that he does become actually Riddler, because he's such a good Riddler. I love him so much. He's in Arkham Asylum now. He was caught Barnes, they did the whole undercover thing where, he talks about his whole masterful plan, and then the police come in and take him down. So yeah, they did that. That was not, I had predicted that to happen, but, it was still fun to watch, and it was still cool to watch as well. So yeah, overall, he's in the asylum. Gordon's gonna, go back to the Wayne investigation. So everything's kind of going back to where it was. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should they have dragged out Jim's criminal side a little bit more, or should they have, the criminal thing? Or should they have kept it like this? Just kind of did one episode about it, then went back to normal. What do you guys think? Comment down below. But what did you guys think also about this episode? Now, I don't think there were any Easter eggs. I don't think I spotted any, but if you guys did, comment down below. I'll do a monkey updates about it. Also, update, not the next episode, but the next one, the next episode after next week's. That episode is titled Azrael, so we might be meeting him. I heard that he was confirmed for this season, so we might be meeting him, but that's a big Galavan episode, apparently. So, we're gonna have to wait and see. What do you guys think about that? Comment down below. Links up there to my other Gotham videos. Links down there to my Twitter, Instagram, Vine, vlog channel, and Sim channels. Don't forget to follow and subscribe those. Other than that, like and favorite this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.